What do you think of Ed Miliband's policy on non-doms? A lot of voters will applaud it. I'm sure you'd agree.
Well, excuse the pun, but I think the wheels are starting to come off the Labour announcement already, because it turns out that it isn't actually a ban. Look, I think we've got to get the balance right, don't we? We've got to, as a country, be open for business, but not open for abuse. And that's why, actually, it's the Liberal Democrats in government that have ensured that non-doms pay more for that status. I think there should be further reforms. For instance, I think the fact that some people can inherit non-dom status doesn't make any sense at all. Let's look at seeing whether there's a kind of point in time where non-dom status automatically falls. Let's look at all of those things. But, you know, as it now appears to be the case, even Labour admits that there are some people who legitimately come to this country to work, to invest in the United Kingdom, but still retain important links back home, which they don't want to lose. All I'm saying to you is let's end abuse. Let's, for instance, stop non-dom status being inherited from one generation to the next. That clearly makes no sense. Let's make sure that non-dom people who enjoy that status pay the right amount. And by the way, if Labour had done what we've done in government, we would have raised hundreds of millions more for the Treasury. Let's look at seeing whether there's a case for ending non-dom status after a certain period of time. But as Labour themselves have now had to admit, there is a role for allowing people to come here who want to play by the rules, who aren't necessarily, by the way, massively rich, to nonetheless have a particular tax status during the time in which they are in Britain. And, you know, I think this is, again, what Labour have sort of lost sight of, that in pursuing a headline, they forget that we must remain an open economy, but, of course, an economy which is not open to abuse.